It was a muggy afternoon in Atlanta, and the stadium was buzzing with anticipation. The long-standing rivalry between Georgia and Georgia Tech drew crowds from all over the state. Among the fans streaming through the turnstiles and buying last-minute tickets was Nate Frazier, a star linebacker for the Georgia Bulldogs, surrounded by cameras and fans asking for autographs. Nate was known for both his strength on the field and his humility off it. He always believed that sports were more than just about winning. It was a platform to inspire change. As he walked toward the entrance tunnel, something caught his attention: a commotion in front of one of the entry lines. At the center of the group, an elderly black woman wearing a worn Bulldogs t-shirt clutched her purse tightly. A burly white man with an arrogant demeanor was gesturing aggressively at her. "Do you think you can just cut in front of me just because you're old? People like you should know your place," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. Others in line looked away or whispered quietly, lacking the courage to intervene. Nate stopped abruptly. He felt his blood boil as he watched the scene unfold. Without a second thought, he quickly walked over to the group. "Hey, what's going on here?" he said, his voice firm yet calm. The man turned around, noticing Nate and his imposing stature. "This is none of your business, big guy. I'm just teaching a lesson to someone who doesn't respect the rules." "A lesson?" Nate retorted, his eyes locked on the man. "All I see here is a display of disrespect. This lady deserves respect just like anyone else in this line." The elderly woman looked at Nate with eyes full of gratitude, but also worry. "Son, I don't want to cause any trouble." "Don't worry, ma'am. If there's a problem here, it's not yours," Nate replied, placing himself between her and the aggressor. The man, now embarrassed by the attention he was drawing, took a step back, mumbling something inaudible. Nate took the woman's hand and walked her to the entrance. The incident did not go unnoticed. Someone recorded the scene, and the video started circulating on social media before the game even began. As Nate prepared in the locker room, his coach, Coach Daniels, entered with a phone in hand. "Nate, what happened out there?" he asked. "I saw something wrong and I corrected it," Nate replied simply, but with sincerity. "You know this could make headlines, right? Not everyone is going to be on your side. Coach, if standing up for what's right brings criticism, I accept the price." Nate's words resonated among the players, many of whom had faced similar challenges off the field. He knew that the fight against racism was bigger than any game, but that didn't make the situation any less complicated. As the game began, Nate felt the tension in the stadium. Some fans held up signs supporting him, while others bore messages saying, "Know your place," or "Just play ball, don't talk politics." At halftime, Nate learned that the video had gone viral. While many hailed him as a hero, others criticized him, accusing him of politicizing sports. The pressure was palpable, but Nate remembered the look in the elderly woman's eyes and knew he couldn't back down. A collective voice. After the game, which the Georgia Bulldogs won in a close contest, Nate was called to a press conference. Questions flew at him like arrows, many challenging his decision to intervene. "Don't you think you should just focus on football?" a reporter asked. Nate took a deep breath before responding. "Football is my passion, but justice is my responsibility. What I did today was what anyone should do: stand up for what's right. If that bothers you, maybe the problem isn't with me." As he spoke, the players of the Georgia Bulldogs entered the conference room one by one until the space was filled. Each wore a shirt that read, "Courage has no color." Their presence was a show of solidarity that silenced the room. Nate realized that his voice had inspired more people than he had imagined. In the days that followed, the elderly woman, named Martha Jenkins, was located and interviewed by several news outlets. She wanted to express her gratitude to Nate, but also her hope that the next generation could live without the fear she had carried for decades. Nate used the attention to launch an initiative with his teammates. a community program called Play for Equality, which promotes conversations about racism in local schools and communities. As the season continued, Nate recognized that the incident was not an end, but the beginning of something greater. He knew that change didn't come from a single play or moment, but from a continuous effort. The courage to face injustice starts with small acts. What would your play be? Share your thoughts on this story in the comments and inspire others to make a difference.